Now to your community focus. He's back on the job today after a bout with COVID-19. Joining us live via Zoom, Warwick Mayor Frank Picozzi. Mayor, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi, how are you?
We are great. First and foremost, the big question for you, how are you feeling?
I feel 100%. I've recovered fully. I didn't have it that bad. I had a few bad days, but that was it.
That is certainly good news. Mayor, something that I've been hearing from people who are getting COVID right now, they're feeling not only a little surprised, but also defeated, maybe both, particularly people who are following all the protocols like we're supposed to, and people like you who are both vaccinated and boosted. So I'm curious, what emotions went through your mind when you got the diagnosis that you had COVID-19?
Well, my daughter had gotten it, who lives with me, and then my wife got it too, so I was expecting it. I was taking care to stay away from other people. I wasn't surprised to get I'm with a lot of people every day, a lot of events, things like that. We've cut down on them, but I'm surprised it took me this long to get it.
Good attitude about it, though, especially considering the work you do. Curious if we can talk a little bit about the schools in your city. There was a notice that went out last night regarding vets and Windman saying that students are returning unless there's a big change in staffing there. What does the picture look like in the city's schools right now?
I think it's status quo. I wouldn't be surprised if it got worse. They're having a lot of staffing shortages, and there's been a shortage of substitutes all year anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's more of it coming out of the holidays like we are.
So what is your message to parents then, Mayor? Just sort of stand by and see how this goes? I know a lot of folks are concerned.
Stand by and be prepared for it. I mean, have alternative plans. It's unfortunate, but they can't control the staffing problems. So you just have to be prepared, and you're not going to get a lot of notice sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's an easy answer to a lot of the issues that are facing the school systems right now. A big question that we're hearing a lot about is where to get tests. What are you hearing from residents? Are people frustrated about the lack of testing? And what's your advice to folks about where to get access to those tests?
You have to be persistent. I mean, go on the state portal, find home tests. I know a lot of stores have them and then they're out. So a lot of people I've seen from social media, they just keep calling the stores all day. I was able to get a bunch last week too, just by going over to Walgreens and asking if they happen to have them, and they did. They had just gotten some in, so I bought the limit so we could have them around here.
Yeah, call around, that has certainly worked for folks. What about, is the city holding any or planning to hold any vaccination or testing clinics?
Well, we're not currently planning, but there are no tests available anyway. The state doesn't even have them. I'm sure they have an adequate amount of sites, but we just don't have the product.
If you had access to those, is that something that you would be willing to facilitate? Because I know the last time we heard from the governor, he said, the municipalities need to step up and help out with this.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, we need the resources to do it. We need the product and the resources. Our staffing, even the fire department, police department right now is it's getting bad because people are coming down with COVID. So, I would have to know the product, and we'd work probably together with other municipalities. I'd speak to my emergency management director and see what we could do. But as I said, the tests just aren't available right now. I have no idea when they're going to become available.
Yeah, that is certainly the million-dollar question. Mayor, shifting gears just a little bit, you told the Warwick Beacon that you'd like to set aside some of the federal coronavirus relief money and allow each councilor to hold ward meetings to decide how to spend some of that money. First question, is that still the plan? And second question, if so, how much will each ward be getting?
Well, it is the plan. I was thinking about $200,000 per ward. I mean, it's not going to be to the penny, but I think that's just the best way to get it down into the neighborhoods where, the things that we miss, the playgrounds, missing fences, park benches, things like that, the things that usually aren't in the budget we can't anticipate. The councilmen know their wards, and, I've spoken with them. They're very excited about it. It's a great way to get it out into the grassroots parts of the city.
All right, Warwick Mayor Frank Picozzi, we are glad to hear that you are in better health and have fully recovered, and thanks so much for taking the time out of your busy first day back to chat with us.
Thank you very much.